Welcome to the replay of our March 18th, 2025 Matri Mandala TM Women's Circles webinar. Our speaker was Cynthia Arenander. Matri and Mandala are Sanskrit words. Matri means mother and Mandala means circle. Matri Mandala TM Women's Circles bring women who practice Transcendental Meditation together to support each other on the path to enlightenment with pure knowledge, music, and group meditation. These webinars are hosted by the Mother Divine program. Our theme was Experience the Bliss of Teaching Transcendental Meditation in India. This theme nestles in the bigger picture of the overall theme of Mother Divine and Matri Mandala, which is raising supreme nourishing power on earth by awakening bliss consciousness. So now I would like to introduce our speaker, Cynthia Arenander. For over 10 years, she and her husband Alaric have been at the forefront of transformative education in the state of Andhra Pradesh, India, working under Raja Louise's Vedic India projects and partnering with private and government organizations. They introduced TM-based programs, conducted truly groundbreaking research, and helped establish large groups of yogic flyers. Their work empowers students to succeed without stress while fostering greater harmony and progress throughout India. Cynthia and Alaric are currently teaching TM on the island of Kauai and connect weekly still with Vedic India. So Cynthia, please go ahead.
Aloha and welcome everyone. It's such a great joy to be with you today. And I'm going to share my screen. So just give me a minute to do that. We're going to have so much fun. It's such a blissful presentation. And I'm so glad you connected. Okay, is that looking good?
Looks great.
Good. So we'll get started. We're going to see a lot of beautiful children and young adults, and there's two right now. You can see the bliss in their face, and they're also thanking you for joining. And the title, as Karen Marie said, that this presentation is Experience the Bliss of Teaching TM in India. Join the joyful journey right from the comfort of your own home. So we're going to start off with the big picture so you get an idea of what we're going to go over. And we worked under Raja Louise, and we started working with him all over South America and Mexico and Nepal. And then in 2016, he said, I think we should start on India. Let's look and see where we could go. And that's when Raja Louise started this whole Vedic India project. And it's such an honor to work under someone that is just so tirelessly one-pointed to create groups of peace-creating yogic flyers. So we looked at the map, and there were many places, but we decided south in Andhra Pradesh because there's a city there, Tirupati, and Maharishi wanted groups in this city because it's a very significant religious and cultural heritage, being the home to the renowned Tirumala Venkateshwara temple. In fact, this is where Raja Peter in the mid-70s taught teacher training courses. Maharishi had him teach these large courses, over 2,000 participants. So it's a very special place. And what we're going to go over today is you're going to see all these videos and pictures of schools, colleges, universities, orphanages, schools for the blind, and government organizations, where we taught TM to over 18,000. It's hard to keep track after a while. And we conducted several research projects. And this started around 2017 in Andhra Pradesh and is still continuing. And here's a picture of our fantastic team of Telugu teachers, TM and TM City teachers. Now let's just look at the wholeness of the presentation. We're going to start with talking about creating the effect. And we're really going to come to see the miracles of what happens when groups meditate together and we experience those ripples of the Maharishi Effect. We're going to look at how it improves the environment and also research showing the developing total brain potential. So let's start with creating the effect. When we were in India, we watched this tape of Maharishi, and he said, the most important thing is to create the effect. And of course, that means the Maharishi Effect. So the Maharishi Effect, when groups come together, it creates this ripple of coherence and peace and harmony. And this is how it all gets transformed. It promotes order, harmony, and all good qualities. Because when we first go into a school or a college or university, you just have no idea how disorderly it is, how chaotic, stressed everyone is, and it's so loud and noisy. And then the next thing we do is we meet with the vice chancellor or the principal, and we sign a memorandum of understanding, and that incorporates TM and eventually the TM City program into the curriculum twice a day. So then we start to teach, and then we create groups. And you can see these beautiful girls here. Now, often schools don't have an auditorium big enough so they can all meditate, so they meditate outside. And these groups generate waves of coherence, harmony, and peace. And that's how we see all these incredible results. So just within a week of practicing TM, major transformations take place. And I hope that this really gives you a taste of what happens with these videos and these pictures. We go into the school, the students are stressed. They're just kind of crazy in a way. And then just after a week, look at that bliss. And we like to say to the students, and they love to return it, bye-bye stress, hello happiness. And you can just see the bliss and the happiness in their face. What was very loud and noisy disappears, and profound silence permeates the whole school and the whole atmosphere. And in the next video, I'm not going to talk, I just want you to experience that silence. Now, I have to tell you, this is a school, junior college of 1,500 girls. And when you have 1,500 girls together, they are noisy and talkative and running around and doing this. The teachers could not believe it. The faculty, the vice chancellor, they come up to us and they say, this is a miracle. These girls, you can hear a pin drop. You can never hear a pin drop. So that Maharishi Effect just transforms the whole educational project. It heralds great change, and all good qualities start to be lived. And in such a short time, it's just really remarkable. So what was disorderly turns into unity, harmony, blossoming. And here's a fun little video. The girls saying hi to you. Hi. 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 They're greeting you from their Narayana school in Tirupati. Do you like your meditation? Yeah. So what was chaotic turns into positive trends growing. And very increased optimism. So many stories where some of the most mischievous girls that were always late to class and always causing problems, they become the best students because all of a sudden they think, I should show everybody what I can do. And that feeling can come over them with just one meditation. And one of our favorite things was seeing the light in their eyes. Look at these girls, they're so adorable. They're just lit up. These are little orphans from a beautiful orphanage. And when we go into an orphanage, it's so beautiful. They come up and they say, you know, we have nothing, but now Transcendental Meditation has given us everything. We feel like we just have everything at our beck and call now. And such contentment and sweetness. And this is very special video. The girl on the left, she's kind of like the head girl that oversees everything at the school. And she was always very concerned because when the young girls come in, they miss their parents and their home life. And they're always, she says, they were crying so much. And she came up to me after about 2 weeks and she said, there's 85% less crying. She had calculated. And she said, and it keeps decreasing and decreasing. And she's also in this video going to tell a story about her professors.
After many of them came into schooling, they were all crying because they were homesick, but now they're not because of meditation. They meditate every day, makes them feel happy. Even my teachers have a lot of patience now and they're not really angry and anxious on us.
Tell what what actually happened the other day with your math teacher.
Yesterday in the math class, my maths teacher was really angry on us, but he really started laughing and we were like, why are you laughing, sir? And that sir told, no, because of meditation I have a lot of patience now and I'm unable to scold you. Even my chemistry teacher did tell the same thing.
That's so beautiful. Thank you. You look so good. And such increased confidence, self-confidence. And that's why the children don't feel the need. One of the fun stories is we used to come into the schools and the line for the phones would be like around the school. And we noticed each time we came, the line was less and less because the students were feeling very lonely and they wanted to talk to their family. And they just become more and more self-confident that they feel happier within themselves and can deal with all the things and challenges they have to deal with being away from their family. Look at this adorable girl. And so much love pervades the school. It's just a really amazing transformation. One of the things that we do is we teach them the pranayama, the very effortless pranayama, the breathing exercise that they do for just a few minutes before they do their transcendental meditation. And this really helps to calm everything down. The students just love their pranayama. You can see how beautiful they are and how they sit up so straight. They really respect their whole program that gets implemented into the curriculum twice a day. This is one of my favorite videos. These cute little girls. Now, keep in mind when you watch it, they're young, so their English isn't perfected yet. And the thing that we noticed is when you asked them, do you like your meditation? And they always say, yes, it's so easy. We love the meditation. It's just so easy.
And very easy and what?
Yes.
Is your meditation easy?
Yes.
And do you love it?
Yes. I love the meditation. Fully.
And will you do it every day?
Yes.
Very good.
In the morning and evening.
Very good. And do you like doing your pranayama?
Yes.
You are so adorable. Thank you for answering those questions. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So cute. Look at these girls. Don't they look a little mischievous? In a very sweet way. We also taught the administrators and the faculty, and they'd meditate either all together or they would meditate with the groups. And this was such a boon for them to have incorporated in their day, because many of these women, they work all day and then they go home and take care of the whole family. And one lady, one professor I taught, she looked at me after her first meditation and she said, "This is the greatest peace I've ever known in my life." So beautiful. And Raja Louise said, the secret to our success is follow up, follow up, follow up. So we were very consistent with our follow up all the time. We were very busy while we were there. Of course, it's so blissful. And the students love it when you come back, and they love to participate. And we love having them participate because it just adds so much attention to the whole school. They get up in front of the whole school and they present. And one of the things they loved to present was the review of the second day checking, the cycle, the mechanics of the inward and outward stroke of the practice of TM. And this, as you probably remember, it really makes it very clear that thoughts are our friends. Thoughts are just the byproducts of the release of stress, and we're happy for thoughts. So here's our big banner that we used to have up, and we'd have lines of students wanting to get up and present to the whole school. And you can see they are so good at it. And here's a short little video so you can get a taste.
Leads to increased mental activity. Increased mental activity leads to thoughts.
So one of the great things, whenever we come into the school, we drive up and we get out and all the students would go, bye, bye, stress, hello, happiness. And they'd wave their hands. And that all started because in our follow-up sessions, we would do what you're going to see Alaric do right now. And all the girls will wave. You can see them in the background.
Happiness. That was great. We do it again? Right. Bye, bye, stress. Hello, happiness.
We tried to make it as fun.
Hello, happiness.
And they just loved interacting. This is an orphanage with a lot of beautiful girls. Sometimes, you know, they hadn't ever seen a foreigner, especially with blonde hair. And this is teaching a school of the blind. And you can see they have some paper there. We use things for them to feel. For example, sometimes we would have the paper, have them crumble up the paper and then let it drop. So it would be, we just let go of the mantra, just like you let go of this ball of paper. It's just that effortless, just let go. And all these different little techniques we had for the blind. And they took to it so well. It was just so beautiful. And the students loved interacting. And like I said, sometimes they never seen blonde hair, and they'd get behind me and I could feel them pulling on my hair, and then it'd go in Telugu. I'd be like, I asked the teachers, what are they saying? They said, oh, they're saying your hair looks like straw. Oh, I was in one of the schools, and this beautiful young lady, she was in a university, she came up to me and she said, ma'am, you came all the way from America to teach us our tradition. What happened? Did we forget it? I always remember that because, you know, the schools in India, from what we saw back from when we started in 2017, very filled with stress, a lot of problems, a lot of educational problems. And just by implementing this Vedic tradition into the school, which is their tradition, and Maharishi allowed us to do brain research on it. So when we go into a school, we can show them the EEG, and it really makes them realize that their tradition is such a powerful way to bring them out of all these educational problems that they have there. It's just some more pictures of these beautiful ladies. So this is a funny story. I was doing some follow-up to this large junior college, and I was trying to learn Telugu, which is not an easy language to learn because all the fluctuations have to be perfect. So during the checking, I wanted to say close the eyes, which is kalu muskondi. And so when I would say it, there'd be these giggles, and then and then the whole hall would be on the floor laughing. For 5 minutes. It took us forever to calm him down. So I realized that I wasn't going to be able to speak Telugu because my accent just made everyone go into great laughter. And I want to give you a taste of what it's like to celebrate birthdays. It's so sweet. This is the birthday girl with her whole family in the principal's office, and we have a cake for her. And they do this for every student. It's really beautiful. And here's the principal feeding the girl her piece of cake, and there's her little friends. And now the mother and her friends. So sweet. And this is at a university, and it was one of the girls' birthdays, so we did the lighting the light. Now I want to show you this 2-month research study that we did. We did at a university, 1,500 students. We had a TM group, and then we had a control group of 750 non-TM. And in the beginning, before they learned TM, we gave them all a psychological test. 10 to 15 pages of Xeroxing 1,500 tests. Believe me, that was a feat in India. And then handing out the test and giving the test. And this is what we found after 2 months. So they took it before, then the group learned TM, and then 2 months later, they took the same test again. And here's the results. It was really significant. Highly significant reduction in anger expression, anxiety, and fatigue. Because the students are really pressured. They get up early. So the fact that they were having much more energy was such a huge, great difference. And also highly significant increase in self-esteem and self-confidence. And that was just felt throughout the school. And then the thing that really impressed everyone, which was this dramatic and rapid increase in exam scores. Now you can see before TM, there on the left-hand side, and after TM. And that red arrow represents 2 months. So look at the difference. Now, all these dots represent 750 students. So of course, some are on top of each other. But look at how within 2 months, the increase in the exam scores. It was just remarkable. And the thing is that these students that were the most mischievous and the worst students suddenly got this spur of inspiration, and they would become the toppers, which means the top students of the whole school. That happened so many times. Excuse me. And the success we had at Little Angels, which was a beautiful Christian school right in the center of Tirupati. And here's a picture of the principal in the middle and some of our Telugu teachers. This was incredible, extraordinary success. And it was all over the newspapers in Andhra Pradesh. And this is a very renowned school and had been in existence for 39 years. And once we came in and incorporated TM, when the students took the comprehensive state exams, they all received the top grade, first class. This is remarkable. And the principal said it all is due to the twice-a-day practice of transcendental meditation. Now we're going to look at the environment. And the Maharishi Effect is so powerful, and those ripples go out. I don't know if you've ever been to India, but there's plastic bags everywhere, and it's a real eyesore. And in Tirupati, within 6 to 8 months of us being there and incorporating Maharishi's programs, Tirupati banned the plastic carry bags. And then it sent a ripple out through Andhra Pradesh and the rest of India. A great accomplishment. Same thing with the weather and the air pollution. Completely transformed. And there was a terrible drought when we got to Andhra Pradesh. In fact, it was all over the news. And we would go in and we would teach, say, 750 students, and it would start raining, not just cats and dogs, but elephants. And we'd drive home, and sometimes we'd be driving in 2 feet of water. And that whole process ended the drought immediately. And one of the fun things is that when you're driving in the water, there would be these motorcyclists, they'd have plastic bags over their head. The person in the back would hold the umbrella. You can see there in the back, hold the umbrella over the driver. I always thought that was so funny. Okay, so we're going to move on, and we're going to look at developing total brain potential, success with EEG and brain mapping. In all the schools and colleges and universities everywhere, we would go in and we would say, give us your worst students. And we would take their EEG. And of course, their behavior, everything changed, but we would see what happened to their EEG within 20 days. And we're going to show you one of the universities we did, which is the most prestigious Sanskrit university in India, Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapith. And this is some of the faculty, and this is us in front of the yoga pavilion, which we pretty much turned into a TM center. And the students would meditate twice a day, and the vice chancellor and his wife would come and meditate whenever they were doing their meditation, because they said that they couldn't believe the silence and the profound feeling of purity and sattva in the environment. We did a lot of brain research there at the Sanskrit University, and we would hook the students up, and they would have this EEG cap on, and you can see there's a little electrode, and that electrode's picking up the activity of millions of brain cells, and then it goes down the wire into the computer, and the computer computes it. Now, I'm going to give you just a quick overview of what you're going to be looking at, these EEG graphs. And we don't have a whole lot of time, so we're just going to spend time looking at that lower bar, the lower blue bar. And you can see that white line going up. That's the computer computing the orderliness from the right and left hemisphere of the frontal part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is your president of your life. So if you can organize your prefrontal cortex, you're done. You got your organized, orderly, coherent brain. So you see this white line going up. Now, when it's up at the top there, that's high coherence. And of course, when it goes down, that's low coherence. It means the brain cells aren't really working together. So that's a quick little understanding of what you're going to look at. So the thing that's so beautiful about the EEG is that you're actually visualizing the increase in brain orderliness and coherence. And we're going to see this one is in 20 days. So you see that over on the left, and you see the line going up and down and up and down. And this is eyes closed before learning TM. Okay, so they haven't learned TM yet, and we're taking their EEG, and their eyes are closed and they're just relaxing. Now look what happens 20 days later after they've been practicing TM. This is absolutely remarkable success. These high levels of brain coherence seen in the prefrontal cortex form the basis of all the benefits that we see that are happening in the schools and colleges. And this only happens with Maharishi's technologies of consciousness. We don't see this anywhere else, these high levels of coherence. Now, we're starting to look more globally. This has many leads. We're looking at many different areas of the brain. And this is really a judge of showing how total brain functioning takes place during transcendental meditation. So again, you're looking at pre-TM, eyes closed, relaxation. And we could spend a lot of time on this, but I just want to give you the contrast. This is 20 days later. This is remarkable. All these different leads, we're looking at all the different areas of the brain, and we're seeing maximum orderliness in total brain functioning, which is, again, is unique to transcendental meditation. The research that we did at the Sanskrit University got tons of press, and this is just one example. Sanskrit Transcendental Meditation Improve Brain Function Study. Another one's in the Hans, India, Transcendental Meditation Improves Intelligence. We had all kinds of press. It was very exciting. This is something I wanted to share with you. We did a EEG brain coherence demonstration in the presence of the Shankracharya of the South, and we were in Kanchipuram. And here's a picture, and you can see the Shankracharya there on the right-hand side, and there's Alaric presenting, and his disciples there in the background. And he said afterwards, every student in Andhra Pradesh should learn transcendental meditation. And that's happening. And then this is very special. We did an EEG presentation in the winter residence of the Shankracharya in Allahabad. And this is a picture of the front of the ashram. And this is the ashram where Maharishi and Gurudev stayed in the winter. And if you drive in there or you walk in that entrance, just over on the other side is the office where Maharishi used to work. So it's a very special place to be. And we were able to be there for quite a long time. And the Shankracharya invited us to be in some meetings. And we were able to walk around the inner courtyard and go up into the balconies. It was just such a special experience. He told us to go in Gurudev's meeting room, and we were in there meditating. Very special time. And then he said, come back tonight and do the presentation with the brain mapping, because all my pundits will be here and my students won't be in school and my officials. So come tonight. So we went in the evening and we did a live brain mapping in the presence of the Shankracharya. And I just wanted to give you an idea of the setting. So this lady here is an India Mother Divine. That is me with the EEG cap on and the wire sticking out of my head, which Alaric always had me get all geared up before the presentation. I had to be in front of everybody with that on. It was very good for my ego. And there's Alaric, and there's Brahmachari Ravi Kumar. And then over here to the right is the Shankracharya and the Vedic pundits and the Vedic students and the different officials. Now, when you watch this video, keep in mind we're in India, so there's a lot of traffic noise. And you see in the back where Alaric's pointing to the EEG. Just keep in mind that little explanation I gave to you. Watch that bottom blue bar here, and just keep in mind that when the line is up, it's measuring the coherence of the prefrontal cortex. And when it's up high, that means all the cells are working together. And when it goes down low, then there isn't that much coherence. Okay, so here we go.
नीचे में जो आप इस मस्तिष्क को आप देख सकते हैं, ये बाएं भाग है, ये दाएं है, और जो सामने है इसको प्रीफ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स कहते हैं। जो अपने मस्तिष्क के जो विशेष कार्य जो होता है, जो विचार लेना, एक निर्णय लेना, जो महत्वपूर्ण जो मस्तिष्क का जो कार्य होता है,
It's a direct measure of brain orderliness from minimum to maximum.
मस्तिष्क का कार्य कैसे होता है।
So this is minimum and this is maximum. We're going to have Dr. Cynthia start meditating in just a moment.
अभी डॉक्टर सिंथिया एरेनेंडर अभी ध्यान करना शुरू करेंगे। अभी जब वो ध्यान करना शुरू करेंगे, उसमें आप देख सकते हैं ये ध्यान के पहले का ये हो रेखा है। उसमें आप देख सकते हैं अभी वो ध्यान करना शुरू किया, अभी ध्यान कर रही है, तो इसमें आप वो अंतर देख लीजिए।
This only Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation program that you practice every day, only that program creates this maximum brainwave orderliness or coherence. This is why Transcendental Meditation is so valuable, why it is the basis. We meditate first.
लेकिन आधुनिक विज्ञान, भौतिक विज्ञान अभी इसको प्रमाणित कर रहा है कि जो तुरीय अवस्था का अनुभव है वो विज्ञान के अंतर्गत है। विज्ञान इसको प्रमाणित कर रहा है।
So what would like to do? This is the great blessing of Gurudev and of Maharishi Ji.
ये पूरा विश्व के लिए गुरुदेव का एक अद्वितीय वरदान है जो महर्षि जी के माध्यम से पूरा विश्व में इस बाबा की ध्यान का प्रचार हुआ है।
In the whole stream of the Vedic tradition.
पूरा अपने वैदिक परंपरा का ये वरदान है पूरा विश्व के लिए।
So it's a great joy to spend some time with you and be in the presence of the Shankracharya and to show you that the Vedic tradition and its great tools can allow any individual to experience Brahm totality and as a result develop one's full potential to create harmony in society and enlightenment for the individual. Enlightenment for the individual and invincibility for India.
Beautiful. Now, if we were to hook you up and look at your brain while you were practicing TM, you would also have those high levels of EEG coherence in your prefrontal cortex. I know that would be the case. So that's what Maharishi's programs just completely rewired the brain to order. And this is what Maharishi said in 2005 when he watched some of the EEG brain mapping demonstrations. He said, with brain mapping, we see totality of knowledge with eyes open. This is a vision of total knowledge, to be seen enlightenment, Maharishi. Isn't that beautiful? And that's true. When you're watching the EEG, you're actually seeing totality of knowledge, of Brahm, of totality, with your eyes open. So let's wrap up and have our conclusion. And again, the most important thing is to create the effect, which is the Maharishi effect, creating those ripples of coherence and orderliness and harmony that just permeate the whole atmosphere. So this group coherence is the foundation of creating the effect. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to visualize what happens to the brain when a group of individuals start to meditate. So there's one person practicing TM and their EEG is being taken. And then there's a silent signal that's given to the group. And then the group starts meditating. So we're going to see that. Now, I'm just going to show you the main EEG graph. But if you want more information about it, we can go into it in more detail in the question and answers. So this wave of coherence, the minute they close their eyes, is what we're going to visualize. And this demonstrates the power of collective consciousness. So here's our EEG graph. It's a little more complicated than what we've seen. We have 3 of these bars, but we're not going to get into too much detail right now unless you want to in the question and answer. But that silent signal happens. Now watch what happens immediately. It's like a shift. That coherence just permeates the whole functioning of the brain, and the brain just spontaneously becomes more orderly. I mean, this is just extraordinary. And you can see what happens immediately. So collective group consciousness and this ripple effect of the Maharishi Effect is what's creating world peace. And I wanted to thank all of you for all your devotion to your daily, twice a day program to create those ripples and actually be able to turn the tide of time. So thank you, everyone. It's a joy to be with you, and I'm really looking forward to all your questions and being together that way.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. It's just, I've heard this 3 times now, and it's so profoundly inspiring. You just really want the whole world to hear it, and so many more girls and people all over the world doing it. So are there any questions? You can put questions in the Q&A, please, and any comments in the chat box. How many schools were you participating in or teaching in?
Oh gosh, it's hard to even be able to count. I just couldn't give you an accurate number. It just constantly a new school, new university. Like I said, the different orphanages, the School of the Blind, maybe 50. And then we started to kind of move out into other areas of Andhra Pradesh and even the capital city, Vijayawada. So it just kept spreading and spreading. And it's continuing to spread with all the devoted work that Raja Louisa's done. It's just...
One thing, maybe you could mention, until there's some questions. Well, there is one, but let me just ask, you can mention how some people on the last webinar on Sunday were asking how they could also teach there. Was there a need? Was there a way? And you were going to find out about that.
Yeah, I think it was Susil that mentioned that you should contact your national leader, or if it's your TM center, to contact them and go through that process. But if you're not sure, email me. We can put my email in the chat box, and you can email me and I'll help you get to the right people.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, so Brenda is asking, are there any more wonderful stories with the Shankracharya? That was
a really special time. I know he invited us up on one of the upper decks, and we sat up there with him while he was talking to some officials that would come and signing some papers. And then some students came in, young boys came in, and they were all sitting in front with him, and someone had brought in all these sweets for him, for the Shankracharya. So he had boxes of sweets. So he opened them up, and each boy would come up and get their sweet, and he would pat them on the head. It was so sweet. It was just a special time. And, you know, you realize sitting there with him, he was an institution within himself, representing this Shankracharya position. And that was one of the things that really impressed me, is the responsibility that he takes on as one individual, and just made you appreciate Gurudev and him coming out of his silence to take on that position and transform it into what it is today. So that was beautiful. And he also said that every student in India should practice Transcendental Meditation. So that was very impressive.
Thank you. There are a number of questions. Several are asking about, okay, were you there specifically focusing on girls and women, or were there also schools for young men?
They were co-ed. I focused on the women because we did a lot of girls' schools and colleges, junior colleges that were all girls, but we did everything. We did co-ed, we did boys' schools and everything. So yes. But for this presentation, since it was Mother Divine, we focused on the girls.
Thank you. Yes, a little bit more, please, about teaching, the technique of teaching the blind, please. Anna is asking.
Oh, that was very special, because they're like magnets. They want all the knowledge. And so Alaric was really good at thinking of different ways that we could have them understand even what pure consciousness is. And so we would have them, again, use paper and kind of crumble it up and then flatten it out. So when it was flat, it was that level of pure consciousness. And we had some toys that we used, like we had some balls that they could drop. So they really got the experience of, you just pick up the mantra and you let it go, just like you drop the ball. So things like that were really special. And it was so sweet. We'd come to the school and they'd all run up to us and they'd put their hands all over our face, all of them. You know, you'd stand there and it was just like the most blissful experience with all these children, you know, always touching you, when like it was how they welcomed you. It was very sweet. There was this one little boy, he just could not stop touching Alaric's face. And then we wanted to take him home with us.
That's so sweet. So this is a good question. Judy White is asking, have you done presentations in the United States telling these wondrous results?
Boy, that is a good question. Of course, we always do it here where we live on Kauai. When we're teaching TM, we always go over all the brain mapping and show how powerful it is. And yeah, we have done, Alaric's done quite a few things. He did quite a few things with Dr. Fred Travis. And is that what you mean? Like when we were at MIU, we did many things around the United States with MIU. But recently, not so much, except for this beautiful presentation that Mother Divine asked to do. But we should get it out more because it is so powerful, especially with just visualizing the transformation in the brain mapping in such a short time. It's just miraculous that these powerful Vedic technologies that Maharishi has given us can transform the wiring of the brain just within, we've seen it even within a week's time. So yes,
it really is. After our webinar on Sunday, there were so many questions like this also, and so much enthusiasm that, you know, we've started thinking really for you also, how can we have you back, and how can we make this, you know, provide a replay link, but how to make it available to those who don't meditate, and maybe get you on the news, and, you know, really, it should be seen. But I want to get back to the questions. There's a lot of good. So let's see. Health Research Institute says, we are watching here in Fairfield with a family from Tirupati.
Oh,
And
thank you. Welcome.
Theja, the brilliant scientist who works with Dr. John Fagan, actually went to the, let's see, to the Little Angels School from second grade to 10th grade.
Really?
Now
Oh my
she practices TM and says it is great. She is so happy for the improvements in the school for introducing TM.
Well, that's incredible. One of the head administrators too, that kind of had an honorary position, he actually did teacher training with Raja Peter back in the mid-70s. So when we went into a meeting with him, it was like a reunion. It was really beautiful. So he was so happy that the school was integrating Maharishi's knowledge into the curriculum. So thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you're all with us. And Suzel, thank you for organizing this. If you have any questions, love to hear them from you.
So good. Deborah is saying, fantastic presentation, Cynthia. So inspiring. Thank you for all the great work you did, transforming the collective consciousness in so many schools and colleges. Absolutely remarkable. And let's see, there are some other, please have Cynthia back again and again. When you were, let's see, when you were asked why a Westerner has to come and teach the locals their knowledge, their own knowledge, how did you answer that? I think you may have said, but.
Well, one of the things that we said is that we spent our whole life looking at the brain, especially my husband, who is a world-renowned brain scientist, looking at consciousness and Maharishi's programs to develop total brain functioning. And that when there is science from the Western world, we find that India is all ears, that really impresses them. And so I think that was a real key basis to our success. And, you know, I mean, the school systems in India need Maharishi's knowledge, need this Vedic technologies of consciousness, because, I mean, they had real problems when we were there. And thank goodness Raja Louise has all these programs throughout India now going into the school systems, because there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of pressure on the students to succeed, and they start early in the morning, and they have this one test after 10th grade where if they don't succeed, then they don't get a good job, and their jobs are very few, so they're pressured from their parents. So taking this knowledge into the school system is so important, and it wasn't there before, and now they have that. And when you go into a school and you say, give us your worst student, give us your naughtiest student, let us show you what we can do with their brainwaves. And when we show that and show what can be transformed, then it's just something they want right away. So I think that's the best way to answer that question. It's needed. It is needed. They're not incorporating their tradition into the schools, at least when we were there. And Raja Louise has a whole program now to do so, and it just transforms everything.
Yes, it really is needed, and a number of these comments and questions are about that. Judy is following up the singular point that only with TM these results seen is very important. Meditation, quote unquote, is more and more touted for health, and this singular value of TM needs to be made clear to make best use of people's time. So she's asking, is there a YouTube or other video link that I can share with people showing the brainwave coherence seen with TM? And also Ana Maria Castanera is saying it would be great having a short video of this brain mapping we could show at our meetings with meditators.
Send me an email. I'll send you, we really should make some more, but you can always go to Arenander EEG in YouTube, and you can look through there and see if you can find what you're looking for. And then I think it would be important to get all your desires of what you feel and the time-wise, how long to make it, and really make something professional. And Alaric can do it since he has all the credentials.
Yes,
so that's a good idea.
Yeah, so people are saying that it would help to increase initiations in all around the world with this kind of.
We did one presentation that's really good, but it isn't really, it's too long. It isn't really fashioned for a TM lecture. We need to have something that's quick and powerful and right to the point. So thank you for bringing that up. It really should be done.
Yes, good. So Ana Maria has several comments that I want to read them all because they're useful. 18,000 students. I think this is a question. 18,000 students are the ones that Dr. Arenander taught, or everyone that has been initiated in the schools all over India?
Oh, no, that was just our project in that area in Andhra Pradesh. That 18,000, and that was with our whole team. Sometimes we'd have 5 in a team, sometimes we'd have more. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and it's so hard. I mean, after a while you lose count. I mean, you kind of add up all the different schools, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, we forgot that one, we forgot that one. Wow. So that's just an estimate, but it's probably more than that.
And how long were you there? And do you go back and forth sometimes? Some people are asking, you mentioned in your bio that you connect weekly with Vedic India. Is that for follow-up, like with students that follow up?
Yes, and at one point we were connecting to all the schools and doing group meditations and some of the Vedic technologies like self-pulse reading and some of the neurorespiratory integration, things like that. So we were staying connected, and we still, one of the things we had in all the schools, we had WhatsApps where the teachers would take pictures of the group meditating. So we knew they did their meditation morning and evening, and we still have that information coming in. But Raja Louise has a lot of programs, and now there's a group of Telugu teachers in Tirupati following up on everything.
Yeah, so one question is about, are they becoming siddhas? And
yes,
18,000, that there could be a 10,000 group there.
Yes, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Okay, great. And this is a beautiful question. Did the blind say they experience light inside after learning TM?
A couple of them did, and it was something we couldn't make too big a deal out of because all the other ones wanted to have that experience too. But yes, we would take them aside and talk to them about it. And having never experienced light before, it's a little daunting at first. And then when they realize what it is after we give them the knowledge, they're just beside themselves.
That is so thrilling.
I know. Gives you chills, doesn't it?
Yes, it really does. So another question, do you think that the swift response is partly the expression of being born into this culture?
Yes, and all the time when you're there, you think of what Maharishi said, is take my knowledge to the children, they'll know what to do with it. And it's because they just know from the past. So, yes. And that was a beautiful question about the blind. Thank you. All the questions are beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
I know it's quite late, but I feel to just ask you a few more questions before we finish up. Let's see. There's another great in all the international groups learning TM. They always sit in such orderly straight rows. I have trouble imagining a U.S. school that would be able to effect that. Do you have comment on that?
Yeah, they have that ingrained in their upbringing, also in the schools. Yes, I think that's not a problem though, because they're young, and once you start meditating, it's just like the body just naturally kind of wants to sit up straight. Some of the schools, there's this one school system where they really work the students hard. They get up very early and they work hard all day long, and they're tired. And we go into the school and we teach them TM, and it's so cute. Their first meditations, they're like down on the floor, and then they're so used to being together that they're like in one big pile sleeping. And then after a week they're sitting up straight. So I think it's a lot, once the fatigue gets out, that the body just naturally goes into the proper position.
So
but I have some videos. It's so cute. The kids are like, they're all going like this because they just have a lot of fatigue in their system that's coming out. But then after a week, it's all gone.
1 week, isn't that?
I know.
Great. So yes, so Anna Maria is commenting. It was beautiful to see the Shankracharya of the South at the 10,000 course last year.
Yeah. Yes, he's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just check in the chat box again here.
Be sure to put my email in, so if anyone wants to contact me.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe, did you already do that, Sarah? Or yes, Zaina put it in. We have a fantastic tech support, two wonderful friends of Mother Divine who are making this possible today. So I always
I just wanted
thank
to
them, but thank you so much.
Yeah. I just wanted to thank them too, and all of you, Mother Divine, for allowing me to give this presentation, and everyone with all the practices and all your comments. You are as much a part of this success as I am. So thank you all very much for making it as lively and as holistic as it is. So thank you.
It's really thrilling what this could lead to. So we're going to keep up with you about some follow-up and how we're going to get this out there. So thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Saying Dr. Cynthia for the most divine presentations. We are so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So beautiful what you did. Can you arrange for a rebroadcast of this video? I am in Jamaica. Yes, we'll let everybody know. Just make sure that if you're not on our mailing list, that you get onto it so you will hear about this. And you can sign up at motherdivine.org. The homepage, there's a little box that says stay connected. So, okay, there was one other comment from, Health Research Institute, the friends in Fairfield. It is just amazing what you accomplished and still are. Thank you again for this beautiful overview.
I have to say my one Telugu phrase.
Okay.
Chalabaga undi.
What does that mean?
That'll make them laugh. It means very good.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, this is a great question. Do you also teach the parents of the students?
Yeah. Yes. In fact, I wanted to show this one video of this parent talking about her two daughters and how they learned, and she couldn't wait to learn herself, and their family was having a lot of stress and a lot of kind of tension. And as soon as they learned, then the father wanted to learn. So yes, that happens often.
Mm. And several people are asking, do you still do your brain courses with Veda and the physiology model? I enjoyed them so much around 2012 and 2013.
Thank you for saying that. I feel, Maharishi, we heard Maharaja say that when he was working with Maharishi, he had never seen Maharishi so focused on one thing as he was with the model of Vedic physiology. And do you know that they worked and edited with Maharishi the narrative on that model of Vedic physiology over 1,000 times? So the whole thing is so Maharishi consciousness. I would love to do, maybe Mother Divine, we could do that, because I really feel that the model of Vedic physiology is the future of healing. And so many incredible testimonials we have. We do play it each week on our Vedic India broadcasts. So maybe that could be something we could do, and people could take advantage of that again, because it's such a great tool for healing.
Well, we'll follow up with you about that too. One more good point is, have you been in touch with Raja and Rani Davis in Fairfield, who are responsible to have all the children in the world learn TM?
No, I didn't even know about that.
So maybe Judy, you could tell her.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's amazing. And so how long was it that you were in India doing this? Some people are asking.
Well, like I said, in Andhra Pradesh, but we did things in Delhi and we did things all over, all different places. But we started, I think, late 2016 and went right up to the pandemic. And then we left, and then we kept in contact with the schools because, you couldn't really go there. And our teachers, we kept coordinating with our teachers if they could go into the schools. And now Raja Louise has a whole team of Telugu teachers there too. So.
Cynthia, is there a place, several are asking, where this Vedic physiology demonstration can be seen? Do you have to go to somewhere where it actually is, somebody has the model, or is it?
Well, that's ideal. Maharishi didn't really want it digitally, but we did get permission to do it digitally. But people that have it in their home, I think MIU has some. We'll have to look into it.
Denise Bezanson is saying that she has the model and she's giving a link, vedicmodel.com.
Oh, good. That's great.
So MUE could offer that with you teaching.
Yeah, I would love to do that. We have like 4 different courses where it just expands and expands and expands. So it'd be great to bring that knowledge back out again.
Okay, Cynthia, one more question here. What is the Vedic India broadcast? Is that something you just do with Raja Louise?
Yeah, yeah, we do. But maybe we could talk about doing something for the United States and other places too.
Yeah.
Do that once a week or something. We do a bunch of Vedic technologies like this. It's a real sequenced thing that we do each time. It's very powerful for health and well-being. People have amazing experiences from it, doing the different Vedic technologies as well as the model. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we have an email address for that couple who is in charge of.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay.
And what was the Vedic model? What was it? Vedic model what?
Vedicmodel.com.
Oh, okay, great.
So again, it's already 2:10, and we just could go on and on with you. Okay, so Denise is saying, I'm a certified consciousness advisor, and you can check the link. She said she bought her model from Holland.
Yes, good. Thank you for.
Okay, I think we've done it with all the questions. One thing that I'm still curious about is like the follow-up with those students. Are there, that you showed us today, are there teachers?
Yes, there's a whole team of delegate teachers.
Oh, very good. Okay. All right, Cynthia. Thank you again and again.
Thank you. Thank you, Mother Divine, really, for putting this out and giving it to everyone. And thank you, everyone, for connecting. And all the organizers who put this all together. Thank you. As we say in Hawaii, mahalo nui loa, which means my appreciation is as infinite as the oceans, and deep and as wide.
Beautiful. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to come on video here. So, okay, so we will move on now. We're going to play a song that is perfect for this. It really, it's written and recorded by a longtime member and leader of the Mother Divine program and the women's wing of the TM organization, Ann Purcell. And it's called Sweet Roses, and it's perfect for honoring and celebrating all the young women and girls and all people really, but it's who are just starting their TM practice and, you know, starting to awaken their own enlightenment. So here we go. And then we'll have a group meditation.
There are roses out there wanting to bloom, beautiful flowers that sometimes seem doomed. We can't forget them, we must help them grow. They have a right to blossom and let their light glow. Sweet roses, sweet, sweet souls, sweetest flowers, it's time for you to grow. Let's make gardens everywhere, dancing in the sun. Petals point to heaven, delighting everyone. Water them with love, water their roots, bring nourishment so they can bear sweet fruits. Sweet roses, sweet, sweet souls, sweetest flowers, it's time for you to grow. Open your beautiful eyes. It's time now for you to rise. Fill your dreams of life. Rise, 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 rise. Feel all alone, a forgotten one. Don't give up hope, your day will soon come. We won't forget you, we're fighting your fight. We want you to rise and shine your precious light. Sweet roses, sweet, sweet souls, sweetest flowers, it's time for you to grow. Sweet roses, sweet, sweet souls, sweetest flowers, be whole.
Thank you so much, Anne, for that amazing song. So beautiful. Somebody did write in that, yes, this music video is available on the Mother Divine program YouTube site. So go to YouTube. But somebody's saying that vedicmodel.com is not a website, nor is vedicmodel.org. So if there's any update on that, please let us know. We'll let everybody know. All right, so now we're going to have a 10-minute group meditation.